So, game 3 of Maxime Vachier-Lagrave against Peter Svidler, and also the other 2 matches, Benjamin Bock against Nico Georgiadis and Francesco Rambaldi against Noel Studer. Well, let's concentrate on Svidler-Vachier-Lagrave. And as ever, if you have comments you'd like to write in, please do. And yeah, if you want to comment on the chat box on YouTube as well, that'd be fantastic. And yeah, fantastic. I've been joined again by Yannick Pelletier. Yannick, Swiss Grandmaster and actually organizer of this tournament. How do you find going from being a chess player into a chess organizer? Is that a difficult transition?
Well, the thing is, the organizing work here starts already somewhere like January, by contacting players first, deciding what we're going to do, and it's all, it's just not just me. I mean, we're just a whole team, and we discuss that, and then it's pretty much work, but not just here during 10 days, but a lot of work beforehand.
Yeah. But you're responsible for the tournaments, aren't you? Sorry, I'm just going to move some computers around.
Discussing with the others, but basically I decide in the field and contact players, discussing conditions and what, if they're ready to come and so on.
Heavy negotiation.
Yeah, sometimes.
So
but
maybe
we are pretty lucky because Biel has been established for so many years, and it's playing here is often seen as a real nice occasion for even top players. That's why we can be quite flexible. They are also flexible with us. So
well, I can mention that as well. If people are watching online and they feel like playing a chess tournament, then this is a beautiful part of Switzerland. Most of Switzerland is very beautiful, but it's a really beautiful part of Switzerland, in northern Switzerland, very easy to get to. And yeah, it's a really very relaxed tournament. So there's open tournaments going on here. There's rapid plays today.
Yep.
And of course, these main matches we have, Pete Svidler against Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, and these 2 young Swiss players, Noel Studer and Nico Georgiadis as well, playing Francesco Rambaldi and Benjamin Bock. We should look at some chess.
Yep.
So
Grunfeld, finally. Probably the biggest experts. Svidler, Maxime plays it all the time. Svidler, it was his main weapon for so many years now. He's been changing a bit, but the Grunfeld is always anyway. It's a very solid, but at the same time quite active opening. Solid because you can do a lot of preparatory work. It's very concrete too, and you can work out lines very far. So that's exactly what Black is looking for, the highest level.
But I find this a very intriguing battle because, as you say, these are perhaps the greatest Grunfeld experts in the world facing each other. Yeah. So
they've avoided any clash so far in the first 2 games, but now here we go.
E5. Now,
that's
I don't know how your Grunfeld theory is. Probably a bit more up to date than mine. What do you think of E5?
I don't think I've seen this move in this particular position before. Or sometimes you play it after exchanging C5, C3 in those positions, and then. But it looks a bit early. I mean, typical reaction is to play D5 here, but Svidler took on E5.
Well, as you say, D5 looks normal to me. Protected passed pawn, you can't beat that. That's threatened, so I suppose D6, B6.
And F5 is going to come at some point.
Yeah. So. Well, not so, because actually, curiously enough, although this is a protected passed pawn, in some ways, the queen side compared to a king's Indian is actually, for the moment, relatively closed. And so Black can set his kingside attack in motion, in train,
Mm-hmm.
very, very quickly. Well, I suppose that's the theory anyway.
Well, the absence of a pawn on d6 and b pawn for white. I mean, this is definitely a big difference. It's not that easy for each side to attack where they're stronger. It's less easy, let's say, than in a King's Indian where it's really completely closed.
Okay, well let's
they
move
took,
on.
yeah, and takes. Okay, that's.
And we have another move, bishop d7. Now this is tricky because, of course, you know, white's king has to be a little bit careful here.
It basically prevents bishop takes c5 because bishop a4 would come and rook.
Well, let's see that
d2,
variation.
I guess.
Check. I suppose back to b1.
b1, yeah. Otherwise, it's coming with a check.
And then still not so clear.
No, not that
knight
clear.
d7.
Maybe knight d7.
Well, we could say typical Grunfeld compensation. Once we recover this pawn, and then we can put a rook to the c file. Yeah, and white's king is a little bit airy. Not so pleasant. Yeah. And these guys are still on their starting blocks.
Mm-hmm.
They heard the starter's gun and ignored it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, he can. Okay, that would be a pawn up for white for some comp. He can also keep a pawn with a 4.
Yeah, let's have a look at this.
And,
presumably check again. I don't know.
Right. Then I can go to.
So we'll play king b1
and bishop c6. That's the problem. Yeah.
That's very nice.
Mm-hmm. Or first bishop c6 with a king on c2.
Yes.
I guess
not clear which is better, but yes. In any case,
mm-hmm.
that's bishop c6.
Yeah, immediately recovers the pawn.
Because bishop d3.
Yeah,
let's just check this now. Check. Yes, and then c4. Yes. Yeah. Very nice. Okay, well that's very interesting.
So they've played a few moves. It's Svidler. So he's gone.
He played f4. Okay. And
bishop c6. All right.
So black has recovered the pawn. Well, it looks to me like a pragmatic choice, actually, from Svidler. He's maintained the pawn on e5, which means the bishop on g7 is locked out. So that gives white time to develop. I mean, I guess he would like to put the bishop on c4 and perhaps even target f7. Whether this is possible, let's see. Well, I was going to say make a normal move, like knight d7 to cover the pawn. Well, let me try bishop c4 because I have an immediate threat.
Knight b6. Knight b6 now.
Knight b6? Is this legal? Can I take this? Check.
Oh, that threat here.
This threat,
that's
no, but knight c4 is coming.
Okay, I hadn't seen it, but I'm lucky.
Okay, so in fact, black is
just to e8, yeah. E8.
Yes, I picked the wrong square, of course.
G8 or e8.
Yes, king e8.
Don't give him a check.
No. So let's just see the tactics. So here and yes, avoiding bishop c5 check.
I see some knight b6 displayed, so maybe we are here. We are there.
Yeah, we are there.
It's
exactly like this, knight b6. So quick recap, we left the position here and knight d7, bishop c4, knight b6 has been played.
Well, look, Danny, I think for next year I'm just going to see us on the stage up there and just find all the moves.
This I doubt. Okay, so the bishop has dropped back to b3. Tempting black into playing this extremely anti-positional move, which gives away so many beautiful squares. D4 being amongst others. So I guess white should have
maybe perhaps can take now on f3 and at d5 and see where and what.
Yeah, I'd be even tempted to give up this f pawn actually, just to put the bishop on d4 and then bishop e4 and just.
Well, I'm going to have knight d3 in all lines.
Yeah, true.
It's going to be okay.
So bishop d2.
Yeah. I don't know, g5 or something.
G5, wow. That's very aggressive.
Or f6.
I'd be worried about the g file in that case.
Actually, f6. Yeah,
f6 you prefer. Yeah. Okay, even that's playable. But let's go back because c4, of course, is absolutely not
but maybe concretely he finds a way to make c4 work.
Yeah,
in
but,
the sense we've just looked at. Maybe.
yeah, but perhaps knight d5 first.
That's, yeah.
Then that pushes the bishop back to d2.
But then he can, he can take on c5, and then he has your trick with bishop f7, maybe. But then e5 is going to drop 2, and
okay, this is a very complicated tactical
But knight
position.
d5 is definitely very natural here.
Yeah,
very natural.
So I'm just looking at some of our comments online. Chris Desmarais says knight d5 and black is better. Again, I think this is our friend who might be watching with a computer.
but it's valuable information.
Yeah, Andreas Wodok says, why no clocks? Yeah, I'm sorry, but on the stream we have, unfortunately, it's this was set up rather at the last minute, so we haven't been able to put clocks in. But let me give you a time update. So Svidler has 6 minutes 50 left. Vachier-Lagrave has 12 minutes remaining. So serious time advantage for Maxime at the moment, but he's having a think. So knight d5, we're being told is better for black. I should mention that we're not using an engine here. There are 2 human players, and I think humans have a better chance of predicting human moves.
Yeah, maybe. Indeed.
Okay, so after knight d5, let's put the bishop back. Possibly b5, actually.
Maybe here, even the very concrete again, bishop takes f3 and knight b4.
Ah, okay.
Just to, because you're forcing, I think, him to take because of knight d3. Takes, I'm going to lose c5, but then my bishop, even like this, I'm not going to lose c5. Well, then I take on b4, and then I'll hope that bishop h6 will let me.
Yeah, well, what I'm going to try to do is rush to the 7th rank.
Yeah, looking very drawish. Can I check on the rook c7?
That might be good, yes.
Yeah, I'm not happy to let you check me on the 8.
Well,
but it's
still
going to go out soon.
Yeah. Well, it's better for black.
Yeah,
of course.
Cannot be.
Yeah. It's gone. 95, rook he1.
Okay.
Yes. Well, in view of that variation, probably a good move.
But now black will have 2 bishops. If that's for what it's worth.
Chris Desmarais says, engine, what are those? A look of innocence. Fantastic.
But again, this bishop takes f3, and then take the bishop on e3 too.
Yeah.
And something like bishop h6, or even first check. No, bishop h6. Let's do it.
Yes, there's an unfortunate positioning of the rooks, isn't there?
I think he has to play rook e4.
Yeah.
Which is not the most natural. And then maybe check and double rooks.
Well, but is that so bad for white?
Yeah.
It doesn't look so bad because, well, as you say, e6 would kind of blow things open. I'm toying with the idea of f5, but probably not working.
Take it.
Just take it. Nothing special. Yeah, e6.
No, that will
e6.
Get her out into the draw.
Let's just play here, and if I can get to the 7th rank,
looks
should be a draw, I think, because the king has to move here.
Yeah, but then
it's absolutely fine for white. So
nothing special. Yeah, that's why Maxime is taking his time, because perhaps he has prospects of being better here, and maybe he should keep the 2 bishops, take on e3 immediately, and find a good square from the bishop, which could be.
Yeah, it's not simple when e6 is coming though. I mean, unless he wants to play bishop d5, but somehow
maybe
once the bishop pair goes, it doesn't look tragic for white, particularly as d2 is covered. I don't think it looks very serious to me.
No, it's true. Perhaps rook d1, bishop takes, exchanging rooks, and king takes b3, trying to enter with the king.
It's very active, very active. Okay, let's see that variation.
Okay, we are
takes, and you want to play king
Even
takes,
king takes,
and with the idea of possibly playing actively. Well,
Because-
I guess I'll activate here.
Yeah, but then rook e1, then what is it? What is this?
Oh, very simply.
Yeah, if I
Okay,
exchange and
yes.
my king is so much more active,
True.
the bishop might be,
I guess
Not better.
we'd have to trade and play g5 very quickly
or
to create a target. Yeah, but as you say, with the active king, this is interesting.
just g3
Yeah.
and the knight. I guess.
Yes, and the knight comes to d3. It's very true. Yeah, interesting.
I mean, possibly black makes a draw.
Yeah.
But
Okay, so
it's struggling, and
Well-
Maxime is now they've banged out some moves. We're
okay.
going to say that he's still thinking, but now 2-3 moves have been
All
played.
right, we've got. Well, he did
So
take on
the
f3,
thing and b5. Okay,
takes on e3, and now b5
okay, well played. c4
to play
Just
c4.
cut the bishop.
So if e6,
c4 and b4.
see
coming, yeah.
which one?
I'll probably c4 first. I would
Probably
say,
c4 first.
because
So
you
we don't
really
need to
wanna
worry
get-
about this, do we?
I don't think so.
Bishop
Pawn will
back,
be,
bishop back, and then just.
this. Yeah.
Okay, so Maxime has found a way to maintain the tension in the position. Well, it looks
Well-
better for black, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, frankly speaking, the most likely result should be a draw, but it's probably white who has to be accurate, maybe.
Sorry, I'm just going to introduce you again, Yannick, but because people are asking online. I've been joined by Yannick Pelletier, Swiss Grandmaster, who is not only an excellent chess player, but is also actually organizing one of the organizers of the tournament. But Yannick is responsible for actually putting the tournaments together, as in gathering the players, enticing the players. So Yannick Pelletier, for those watching online. So we got some more moves.
I think so. Yeah.
So it went rook d1,
Okay, c4, bishop.
c4, and bishop c2.
It's in those positions always quite interesting to try and determine who benefits from a rook exchange or two rook exchanges. I mean, like all rooks would disappear. I think at the moment, if all rooks disappear, then it's going to be bishop h6, maybe a bit unpleasant.
Oh, we've got more
Maybe.
moves. So he traded on
For the
d1.
moment.
I think trading. It went
yeah.
bishop h6, rook e4 to cover f4, and then he traded on d1
Rook d8,
and rook d8.
king c2.
And king c2 is a bit ugly to step on the toes of the bishop, but of course he wanted to cover the d2 square.
True, yeah. And then he's going to play. At some point, he's going to play a4, try exchange, maybe. And bishop e2, and
Well, the question
the
is,
bishop is a bit. Yeah.
can this rook break in? I'm also looking at this move, rook d4 in some positions as well. But anyway, more moves. It's gone
Yeah.
king f8, bishop e2, king e7, and the bishop bounces around to f1. So presumably he may be looking at this and f5, something like this.
And especially covering the white squares when the pawns on e5 and f4 cover the black squares, so that's harmonious. Basically.
Got to watch out for rook d3.
Of course, bishop h3.
Yeah.
So, but
More
he's
moves?
preventing a check. That's
It's gone
A6
a6,
and
a4. Quick update on the clock times. We've got 4.5 minutes for Peter Svidler, 8 minutes for Maxime Vachier-Lagrave, and they do get 5 seconds added per move they make. But yeah, this is a tense position. Black obviously has the advantage. I think we can say that.
He's
Yeah.
pushing, definitely. And I think black will start looking at moves like f5. F6 wouldn't really threaten or do much.
Well, let's have a look straight away. f5. So
But of course, he also activates the white rook by doing this.
two possibilities: taking en passant or playing rook d4. So if rook d4, which is kind of a move I'd like to make, but actually
And try,
looks very risky because suddenly there's pawn majority on the king side, as well as the double pawns on, or the pawn duo.
I don't like
on
it
the queen
for white.
side.
First he has to play h3.
They're not going very far. The
And the
pawns
king
in the
is
middle
going
of
to d5, and I'm gonna
it.
kick out your
Already.
king from c3.
Okay, this is simply winning, isn't it? Yeah. Okay,
So
so
you should take en passant.
we reject that. So we take en passant, as you say. Now, white play.
Yeah.
Let's try bishop h3.
And let's a6.
Yeah, let's see. So rook d3.
That's exactly the problem I was speaking about. The white rook is activated automatically. Looks drawish, very drawish.
Yeah, but even this is a little bit tricky.
Check. Check to e6. Sorry, with the bishop checks on e6.
Check on e6. And then take on b5. Yes, yeah. No, with no difficulties. Yeah, okay. But we've got something else. It's gone. Instead,
but it's
instead of f5, he played rook d7, and after h4. Oh, very cool. Maxime just came back.
Not so many moves for white. That's what he wants to say. Yeah.
Huh. So is this a minor Zugzwang position? Very interesting. So he's basically
saying...
I think
he can still wait with the bishop to e2, because king e6, then he comes back to f1.
Yeah, but so okay, we don't have this immediately.
But okay, h4. I mean, the pawn is still on a black square, so maybe later, if attacked by the bishop, it will have to move to h5. It's not going to be safe to release. But he didn't want to play h3 because he would take the
Well,
square.
they've traded on b5, but you've got to be careful with that trade, because it could sometimes allow a rook in. Got to be careful.
Yeah, one additional small achievement.
And
for
bishop
white,
h3.
Has he played? Doing all right.
Played.
And after rook d3, he's going to.
Does he want to protect the pawn, and then play h5? So if the bishop moves, then h5 just to secure the bishop.
Yeah, maybe. He probably has to do it.
Well, in fact, this has happened.
Okay.
Exactly these moves. We should award ourselves our first medal.
No, not the first. Predicted like 80% of the moves. At least.
Someone online is mentioning that you crushed Carlsen in the European Team Championship. Yeah.
Didn't really crush him. Yeah.
But you beat Magnus in the European teams in Reykjavik. Fantastic.
Yeah. He still keeps a positive score. We've played many games here in Biel from 2005, the first year he took part in the GM tournament as a 15-year-old GM already. And I beat him that year. I beat him in 2007, but he beat me like 5 times. And also 2011, he beat me twice in that year. So he's keeping his...
Keeps a plus score.
Positive score.
Yeah, but still.
But the last game, I did.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Well, I would hold on to that.
Yes.
We got some more moves.
And now hoping that I'll never play him again, so that I can claim that.
Bishop g4, king d8, and indeed h5 to basically secure the position of the bishop.
And after king e7, then the question is, what is white going to play? Isn't he running out of moves slowly or very shortly?
Well, I mean, I'm looking at the move f5 and seeing how serious is the check on d2. So let me try this. So check on d2, and I'll play back to the light square, of course. And does black have anything serious here? Check c1, king b2. Let me just see this. So here. Again, nothing too much happening. I don't know. It looks okay to me for white.
He's taken somewhere on g6. They've traded first. He's going to c7.
h5, king c7, traded on g6.
Okay, he wants to move the king up, but of course.
To here.
Now things like e6 are possible at some point. Yeah.
Well,
because f5 doesn't work.
Yeah, indeed. Because after e6, we have this
difference. Yeah. So, but
we got more moves. It's gone.
So he's played e6, take on e6, and rook e5. Svidler is trying to really bail out because he needs to make a draw from here. That's clear. That's the goal.
Well, it does mean if the king comes to the 6th rank, he can take with check and then take on g6. It looks to me like he's got enough to draw this
The
position.
pawn on b5 is probably most important to eliminate this moment, because instead of rook e5, if he take on the e6 with the rook, then bishop takes f4. You cannot take on g6 because bishop e5. Yeah, if you take.
This didn't happen, I should say.
Yeah, bishop f4, and if he takes, then bishop e5 and c3 is dropping, and then he keeps his two passed pawns, which are going to be decisive, at least very.
We got some moves.
Present.
It's gone. Okay. Rook e5, king b6. Maxime has just he's basically given that pawn with check in order to activate his king. And now the threat is to play bishop g7, take on c3, and that pawn duo you mentioned. Now that could be very, very strong. So
yeah,
avoid that.
There is a funny line. If he takes, well, he played f5, so he's played f5, which is probably quite good. So we won't see my funny lines.
Did you want to deliver checkmate on a6?
Yeah, but I thought wouldn't work. Wouldn't work.
We need a couple of moves. We need somehow to be able to put the bishop on c8.
But he can probably take the bishop and play the rook ending. It's going to be draw. He doesn't have to take here on f5 after.
Simply.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a draw.
And like this.
Takes. And you're going to win g3.
Are you sure? This is tricky. This could be tricky.
No, I see.
And then the king comes in.
But rook h2. Rook h2, and I'm going to pretend that I will draw.
Pretend nothing happened.
Yeah, rook h2, rook king b2, and wait.
It didn't happen. Basically, after f5, he checked on.
First, yeah. Okay, that's more clever, indeed.
Yeah, because
clearly. He's already cut on the first now. Yeah,
and then he can bring the king in.
Oh, black is definitely playing for a win.
Okay, so what happens on?
Because now the rook ending is not the same story.
No. So let's just see that. Let's just show that. So this rook ending is very serious indeed for white, because king a4 comes to b3, and suddenly we have this classic mating pattern, even sacrificing the pawn with b4 and c3, and this is very well known kind of mating strategy. So that's the position on the board. Now
let's have a look at the clocks, just because
Svidler
is not an easy 2 minutes.
2 minutes for Peter Svidler, 3 minutes 50.
It's good time management, because he was down on the clock really early on, and now he still keeps 2 minutes.
He's playing for mate straight away.
Yeah.
He's just coming in with king b3 now, in combination with the rook and the bishop.
Yeah, this is.
Well, I think if Svidler survives this.
Yeah, what a technique by Maxime. But he's extremely good in endgames too.
Yeah.
We tend to forget this, but he's extremely good in endgames. So all the training he got in this now chess club, which doesn't exist anymore, Paris club, which bought all the Russians and things, and won the European Cup in the 2005, 6, 7.
Yeah.
And Maxime was a youngster there, and he got this training by Spiridonov, who is a very good endgame specialist, and he and other youngsters like Sébastien Mazet, GM from France, he's also very good in endgames, thanks to this training. And
we've got to move. It's gone. So after king a4, f takes g6, king b3, and now f4. So that's to cover the d1 square, and we've got some moves. It's gone. F4, rook g2,
check,
bishop d1 check. So presumably he's going to take on.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, otherwise it's mate. It's mate. Otherwise.
Yeah, so he must take. Yes, let's just see that. We like a checkmate. We always like a checkmate. So that would be a nice blitz error. But of course, he's going to take on c3. He did take on c3. And now, so the rook is behind this pawn. Now, we can't. At the moment, we can't check the king away because of, I think, king d2 is just a winning move, winning material. So this is the problem, and the king is going to suffer here badly. Svidler in deep trouble. And just let me give you an update on the clocks. 1.5 minutes. Oh, Svidler's played
seen something,
rook e3 check, and king. I assume king d2. Is there? What are we missing here? Bishop f3. Is that the problem? Can he play bishop f3?
Check on g1.
Check on g1. This looks winning. King
Rook h3, but then takes on. Probably takes anything.
Rook h3, take on f4.
Yeah, you can probably take on d1 and play c3 as well.
Yeah, this must be...
plus bishop takes f5.
I think this is just winning. He's played rook h3. He has played rook h3, but okay, we can see at least one way to...
and bishop takes f4 doesn't look too bad.
This is also bishop f4. Maxime has time. Maxime has 2.5 minutes. Still tricky bit of calculation, but I think he should do this one.
Yeah.
Maxime on... Well, he's just taken on f4. Took on f4 and rook h1 to cover the bishop, but I think it's time to start chugging those pawns down the board. Or, I mean, if we could switch the rook to the a file...
Bishop e5.
Yeah, bishop e5 and switch the rook to the a file, but okay.
But, I mean, he can take a second pawn now on g6, eliminate g6. I think this is also completely winning.
Must be.
But
this has happened. It's gone rook g6, bisiop c2.
And now maybe your idea rook a6.
Rook a6. Let's do it. Let's just deliver checkmate. Oh.
Yeah, it's resigned. He resigned.
He's resigned.
Bishop c2, rook g5 even. Right.
He resigned in this position.
So black is okay in this match. And black has won all 3 games, and that's
just fantastic technique by Maxime, and this endgame really worth studying. Actually, I would say
definitely, yeah.
Beautiful
pawn structure on the queen side for the Grunfeld players, which keeps first space, and then you keep the right bishop to just attack c3. The white king always passive.
Very interesting to see how the opposite color bishops, even in an endgame, still give very strong attacking chances. Actually,
yes.
So rook and bishop in combination with the king look really, really powerful.
And what well, we've said it during but also the waiting moves by Maxime, because white didn't have so much to do, and at some point even some Zugzwang could rise. Of course, when we see that, we think, oh yeah, obvious, yeah. But when you are at the board, to think of that, because you're better, you're more active, you want to do something direct, and the best thing was just to rest, wait, and force white to come forward and deteriorate his position. Yeah,
fantastic. So, well, we've seen another superb rapid play game. I mean, it's more almost like a blitz game. But I tell you, if you saw this game just and thought it was a classical game, well, I would say the standard is very, very high. It's excellent.
Yeah.
So we better leave it there.
Actually, I'm happy that Svidler actually bounced back, because after the first game where he lost his board black, I thought this rapid games would be a disaster for him, and he bounced back in the second game by winning with black. And well, now he lost again, but okay, he has the advantage of being black again in the fourth. We see that black wins all the time, so maybe
we'll see.
We'll see, yeah.
But anyway, let me wrap up.
The youngsters are still playing, yeah. Maybe just have a look. Maybe,
okay, very quickly, let's have a look at Rambaldi against Studer.
Looks like a draw.
Probably a draw. Yeah, probably a draw.
Yeah.
And in Bok, Georgiadis. That one's a little more difficult. Oh no, white is simply winning, I think, actually.
Just moving in with the king. He will have to, that will be a pawn ending. So it's probably resignable already.
Yeah, he's just winning. I guess
they've played a few moves.
Probably has to sacrifice a pawn, but okay, it's winning for
yes, easily. King e5.
Okay, but just to recap, we've seen another very entertaining game between Peter Svidler and Decisive. That was the third out of the 4 games that they're playing today. So do join us again in around about 20 minutes at 4:30 Central European time. So about 20 minutes time for the final game in this rapid play match. And Yannick, thanks very much for joining me again. Okay, we'll see you in about 20 minutes.